I never had the opportunity to work with photographer Pascal Maitre, so I guess I won't get a hug tonight. Although we both did countless stories in Africa, my beat was wildlife, while his was a thoroughly human perspective. Pascal says, "I have always been affected by Africa's immense energy, resilience, and strengths. And although he has worked in Afghanistan, South America, and the Middle East, Africa is always the place that draws him back." Now, Pascal was born into a family of blacksmiths in a small village in France. And going from the forge into photography is not quite the leap that you might imagine. They have a great deal in common. Both require an immense degree of skill, knowledge, and dedication to master. And ultimately, they are both about transformation. A blacksmith turns raw metal into myriad products through heating, shaping, and hammering, while a photographer takes raw light, time, and moment to make an image of enduring quality, something that Pascal has done countless times. From the evocative photographs of Mossad looking over the Afghan wilderness, to Kinshasa's vibrant body artist, to the conflict in the Sahel, Pascal's photographs haunt, delight, and inform. His photo editor at National Geographic, Susan Welchman, told me that Pascal can make these powerful images because you can tell that the people he photographs trust him. There is mutual respect. Or, as his friend and collaborator Robert Draper says, what sets Pascal apart is his talent for finding humanity in direness. To be with Pascal is to be in a constant state of discovery. That state of discovery has resulted in articles, exhibitions, and awards, including the Lifetime Achievement Visa d'Or Award and multiple books, most recently, Africa Without Electricity. There is no doubt that to tell the stories that Pascal will share, to make these images, is not without challenges. Or, as Robert Draper says, to say that these projects entailed a high degree of difficulty would be laughably inadequate. The work he produces is piercing and lovely in its own right. That he achieved this work under such perilous circumstances was a continual source of astonishment. Please join me in welcoming Pascal to the stage.
Thank you. Oh la la, this is not very easy. I don't know how I can talk after Steve. I think I will resign and come back next year because it's too rough to be behind Steve. Sergio, this is not a good idea. I am very pleased to be here and thank Luca, Sergio, everyone who have made this incredible festival in this so beautiful city. Okay, I am a photojournalist and I have worked for many places, and I still thinking the world and the people are our partner when you are photojournalist. Even if my priority is journalistic, color helped me to tell the story. For the last decade, I have also been focusing on topics that are rarely covered by the press. Acting as a kind of whistleblower. This topic includes how 700 million of people in sub-Saharan Africa are living without electricity. They are living in the dark. How 2.5 billion, listen, 2.5 billion of people each day cook with charcoal. And they don't have another energy for cooking. how also the Sahel region in Africa are totally in trouble with the jihadists who are take mostly of the part of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. And every day, thousands of people died, mostly Fulani people. And the last project where I'm working is how a city in Africa, Asia, and also Latin America will double population in the next 30 years. It will be the biggest challenge we will have to face. I will start my show about Afghanistan. From 1985 until 2022, I have worked in Afghanistan. This is Commander Massoud, who was the leader of the fighting against Russia, against Taliban. This is the most beautiful place in the world, the valley of Bamiyan, with the Buddha, before they were destroyed. This is a bird market in Kabul, even if the life is rough in Afghanistan. The population have a lot of love for birds. This is the famous Buzkashi, the horse fight. The life is very terrible. And for the woman, for the kid, is really a daily fight. All these pictures are from different years. Now we are in Kandahar, it was in 2022. I was in this place with my friend Steve McCurry. This is a Taliban jail. And now I have maybe on the few guys who have worked many times in Somalia. Somalia is really terrible place. I have been in Somalia a dozen times, and each time I thought the worst was impossible, but it was. Is in Mogadishu in 2011, there were a huge stroke where 300,000 people died, and mostly kids. Okay, the guy who is let down, he was my chief of security. In Somalia, you cannot work without high security. You will be killed or kidnapped in, what I will say, 30 minutes. And these days, the guy don't come with us. And I go to see where he's living to see what's happened. He was drunk the day before, and I discovered this incredible place. Everything was rose. And I asked him why. He told me, you know, I looked the telenovela, and I saw the people make very beautiful house, and he decided to put everything rose in his house. But you know, when you are a photojournalist, you need time and you need to have the confidence of the people. And like I was working with him from 3 weeks, he lets me shoot the picture. If it was not the case, I will have no chance. Finally, he was killed during a pirates operation. He was killed by another group. This is in the jail where they keep the pirates. This story is very particular. You remember in 2004, the tsunami also hit East Africa, and especially the coast of Kenya, Somalia. and is bringing up from the bottom of the sea radioactive containers that Western companies have unscrupulously dumped off the coast of Somalia many containers radioactive and toxic. 17 come up, but nobody knows how many was in the sea. And the population was really sick. The kids have some sickness. And the company who do that, it was because they get the radioactive container, and it's very easy to drop in the sea in the front of Somalia, who have no army, no Coast Guard. Oh, sorry, I don't know it. Up. Now I work also during the genocide in Rwanda. This is a Tutsi. Why? This is the Tutsi people who were dropped in the river, in the Carriera river. And in the jail in Kigali, there were 8,000 people who were accused of genocide. I did this picture of this guy in Sierra Leone. It was a victim of the flu. I don't know if you remember, this group cut the hand of the people. They cut the hands or the arm. They will say they will make shortcut or longer. And why? Because in many places in Africa, you vote with your imprint of your finger. Like this, the people cannot vote anymore, and they will not vote for the government. But this guy was the first guy authorized to vote without his hand. Okay, we are now in Kinshasa. Kinshasa is a very crazy place. I will come back later. But this young girl, she make a street performer against the climate change. And she put on her skin some oil, engine oil from car with ash of tire. And she bring this special glass for show she is not afraid about the climate change. Okay, now I did a story also about Sahel. This Sahel, especially in Agadez, is a road for the migrant. Mostly of the migrants come from west and center of Africa, go to this place. In the same city, this is a Quranic school. In 2006, I was working in the north of Mali, and it was the beginning of the jihadists arrive. We are in a salt mine, and this salt mine was during many time a place where the political people were sent when they were against the government. Sorry? No, I think now we are in Eritrea, just after Eritrea gets the independence. Of course, you remember the big fight between Ali and Foreman. It was in Kinshasa. I think it was the best marketing coup will never be done, because you can ask everyone in the world, do you know Kinshasa? Immediately they will say the rumble of the jungle. And this place was where Muhammad Ali was training, and now is a boxing club for ladies. We're still in Congo, in Kinshasa. Kinshasa is a very big city. Now is 17 million of people. In in Kinshasa also, you have 25,000 kids who are accused to be a wizard. And you find all these problems in different capitals in Africa. You can find in Bangui, you find also in Nigeria, you find also in Central Africa. The problem, we accuse these kids for put them in the street. And all these pastors try to treat them in very badly way. The kid who is not last is eye, but the guy say, more his finger will go in the eyes, more the kid will be a wizard. Still, rebellion in desert in Niger. I did also a big story about FARC and ALN in Colombia. This is a gold mine in Peru, in Rinconada, with the highest city in the world. 85,000 people live at 5,300 meters. This is a bar in Honduras. I like this color, of course. This is a bordel in Ecuador. There are communion in Guinea Equatorial. Some people ask me if I bring the glass, the sunglass. No. It was like this. This is in Mali, in central Mali, Fulani ladies. And I did a big story about Fulani. This is during some special events, and the ladies will choose what is the best guy, the beautiful one for one time. And when they will elect the beautiful man, they will go with the guy for one night, a week, or for the life. We still where Fulani live it. This is some militia in Mali, traditional militia who are sent by the government against the jihadists. This is a Fulani working in a gold mine. This is a picture from the border of Chad and Darfur. We are now in the Lake Chad, and before the sea, the water of the lake was here. The lake shrank 90%, and now is 30 years before it was lake here. This is a slaughtery in Niger. Now is a work I did about palm oil in Congo. Of course, you know, oil palm is used everywhere, but the conditions of work are rough. Okay, now this is a story I did about cobalt mine in Congo, RDC Congo. RDC Congo have 75 of the reserve of the cobalt mine, and the Chinese people buy 85% of this. And maybe you don't know, but in each battery of electric car, you need 30 kilo of cobalt. It means the Chinese totally control the production of cobalt. This is a mine. This is one of my projects about how living without light in Africa. Until now, 700 million of people live without light in sub-Saharan Africa. And the problem with the demography, each year you have more people who don't get light, we don't get energy, we don't get any electricity. Because even if there are new dams, new things, the population grew too quick. This is another of my topic is the charcoal. This is charcoal in Somalia. And who controls the charcoal business in Somalia? They are the Shebab, the Islamist Shebab. And who buy are mostly the people from the Emirates, Qatar. Now is charcoal in Kinshasa. Kinshasa, 95% of people cook with charcoal. Charcoal is 50% of the deforestation in the world. And you have 50 million of people who are in the business of charcoal. Even if you make some restriction, first 2,500,000 people is too much, you cannot control, and 50 million of people live with this business, mostly military. Many people get money. And if you want really reduce, it's really difficult. And when you see a city like Kinshasa, 17 million of people, 95% of people with Yule charcoal. And this city will double before 2050. What will happen? This is in Siberia, in Norilsk, young kid who have luminotherapy. The work I did about Iran, baobab in Madagascar. And now this is my last project about the big city. I work in Dhaka. Dhaka is now 24 million of people and 40,000 people by square meter. The city will double also in the future due to too many problems. Dhaka is a place where everyone work is never stopped. The train, township in Dhaka, market. And I work also in La Paz, but in El Alto, with the city up to La Paz. El Alto, in 90, it was 80,000 people. Today is 1.2. And all these things are not under control. We're still in El Alto. And this is my last work about Kinshasa. Young street girl prostitute. Kuluna is a lot of gang. Of course, all these 25,000 street kids, a day will come gang. This is a river in Kinshasa. And in Kinshasa is really a big problem because you have Kinshasa, you have the hill, the river, and go to the big Congo River. But all these small rivers are closed with trash. And every year you have plenty of water go out and big inundation. This year there were 100 people who were killed by this inundation. The year before it's the same. At same time, government said next year we will clear, but nothing is done. And daily life in Kinshasa. I think it's okay, this is the end. I would like to say just the last thing. After all these years working, I have always a feeling of the life is stronger of everything. And the people are really courageous and really resilient. Because for daily living in these countries, you need to be a really courageous people. Thank you.